Well, I was elected as Vice President of the EPP, European People's Party, at the meeting in Bonn. So this week at the normal presidency meeting, they asked me to chair a committee of the Ministers for Industry, Labour and Social Policy of the 14 countries in which the EPP hold power. So the value of this is that we will get a first-hand account of what's happening in other countries, plus the stream of ideas that are going through the European Commission and the stream of ideas from the European Parliament. And in the context of Irish unemployment, will give us a first-hand observation on what's best practice in other countries that we might be able to apply here as well.
Excellent. And of course that's particularly relevant at the moment with the latest figures showing.
Yeah, I asked the Taoiseach in the Dáil on during the week, and I was shocked to hear that the figure is now 436,000. That's up from 208,000 just 2 years ago. And that would be over 500,000, but for the fact that forced emigration is back on the agenda here. I'm now getting texts from young people in Australia and Canada and America inquiring about job prospects and all that, and that's very frustrating. So in that sense, jobs and employment and a stimulus for the creation of jobs will be a real priority for Fine Gael for 2010. Fine Gael, as you know, put forward two really progressive proposals. The first was for a national recovery bank. That would be a new stream of money, not from the exchequer, that would be able to flow into business and provide credit, which would make it easier for employers to hold on to employees and to expand their businesses if that's what they thought was appropriate. Government have rejected that. This has happened in France and in America. It's a very good system, and we think that's critical for keeping the flow of cash, because banks are not lending in the way that you would expect a business now. And the second is what we call the New Era, or a new economic recovery authority, where we reckon that you can create 100,000 jobs over 4 years in renewables and communications and broadband and so on. And that's a realistic proposition for jobs all over Ireland. But besides, we've put forward a whole series of things for reducing PRSI at top and bottom level to make it easier to hold on to employees, a whole internship scheme where you could employ up to 30,000 young graduates in different fields, be they graphic designers or engineers or whatever, to acquire experience and get into the world of work. Because if we don't create employment and don't be in a position where we can export again as an island nation, we fail to earn money for our country.
Now, after the recent snowstorms and devastation that brought around the country, we've seen the state of the country's roads and the water systems. Mm-hmm. What do you think could be done about that?
Well, they're in a desperate state, and I've been over hundreds of miles of them at this stage since Christmas, and some of them have really disintegrated to where they were before they were ever blacktopped. Now, I recall that when the Rainbow government was in office from 94 to 97, the very first thing that Rainbow government did was to put up extra money from the taxpayer to every council in the country to carry out a major resurfacing programme. Mm-hmm. Some people estimate the requirement now at somewhere between 100 million and 1,000 million, depending on the state of the roads. Mm-hmm. Some of them are in desperate condition. And obviously government should prioritise emergency funding for that. We also made the point about the loss of water, and that's why Fine Gael proposed that you'd have a new water board where the local authorities would become the agencies of that board and get to a point where the infrastructure or the pipes carrying the water and the standard of the water would be kept up to the level that you would expect in a country like Ireland in 2010.
It's fair to say that the country's broken in many ways at the moment, so what are your priorities to try and help fix it?
Well, we have a few, obviously. The ingredients are all there to really take us out of this mess that we're in. But our point, has been that those who got us into it will not get us out. So our priorities are sort out the public finances, sort out your banks, go into your public service reform, and by that we mean that there are real efficiencies and delivery of service for the taxpayer. Then deliver on our fair care, our health one, our economic recovery authority for the 100,000 jobs, the National Recovery Bank to keep money flowing through businesses. But we're also looking at the whole issue of pensions, which is an enormous problem, the issue of third level education and primary education, where there are serious difficulties, and Fine Gael will look at all of these.